Who else here? I'm gonna love you, I'm gonna lose you. Bye, standing, grinning. I wanna lose you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna lose you. It's so transcendental. Some of it's just really dumb. And I love it when you sing to me. And you can sing me anything. You can sing me anything. Years ago, I want to know, but I refuse. And you give me wedding rings. You wanna give me wedding rings. You wanna give me wedding rings. That's what you need. Yes, let it be. 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 Be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Be.
Yeah, Adam, can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
you're the only person
yeah,
who's.
man. Yeah, that's great.
That's all right. How's it going, man?
It's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that you've been doing a lot more sketching.
Not much, but
Less
I'm
often.
still trying the sketch, But I'm just in a problem where, like an art block or something.
Yeah, I get
But
those.
yeah, yeah, these are becoming really frequent. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not abnormal. I mean, everyone goes through. I mean, I would say they sort of last for me they last for about 3 months for me, and then I usually find something that I'm like, oh, finally, can
Yeah,
draw.
it's just like I want to sketch a specific character. Like I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and we wanted to do Spider Gwen,
Hmm.
um, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't.
That's tough. I mean, are you looking at reference and sort of trying to?
Well, no, no, not really. But I guess looking at reference will help a lot. But
Yeah, I think I mean sort of like find. I mean, it's nice to design Spider Gwen, but it's also nice to sort of figure out
yeah,
how to tell a typical story of Spider Gwen, or like find something that like what is it that you like about her aside
yeah,
from and try and pushing it for more storytelling. I think will help
yeah,
because you're not focused on just drawing; you're focused on telling a story.
yeah. But I mean, aside of that, I have problems drawing women.
Oh, well, I
But
mean,
yeah,
it's just
that's
a
a
matter of
that's thing.
practice.
Yeah.
Ugh, I am struggling.
Uh,
Are you sketching at the moment, or are you just watching? Oh, did I lose you?
hello.
Hey, there you are.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What happened?
Um. Yeah. What's the idea
What
about
was
this thing?
what was the idea?
Yeah. About what you're drawing right now.
Oh, I the idea was that I wanted something that showed scale, so I'm doing this
Yeah.
sort of little guy on top, sort of seeing a giant walking across the land.
Yeah. I love the composition. So.
Yeah, I rarely do compositions, so that's sort of the area that I'm trying to improve at. It's
Yeah. Rocks and clouds pointing at the subject. Yeah.
the kind of there's a rough what it looked like before, and now I'm just sort of going in and refining all the
Yeah.
details. And I'll take it to paint, and we'll see how that goes. Are you sketching at the moment?
Still opening Photoshop. So
Oh, okay. What time is it out there?
it's 1:30 a.m.
Oh gosh, you're bleak.
Yeah. Staying up for you, man.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I really appreciate what like letting me talk to you. It's that that's just an amazing thing.
I'm not.
As I might have said before, that not much people do that.
Eh. I think for me, it's that I know that like had I had I had someone sort of able to chime in, and I did. I had, I was really fortunate. I had a guy named Matthew Munn from was a story.
Yeah.
He was a story artist at Pixar, and he got me into animation, sort of mentored me the whole way through. So I'm appreciative to the people who stepped up to help me out. So I don't know, it feels like the right thing to do when I find people who have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
When do you leave for Gobelin?
Well, the course actually is on the third of July.
Oh, so soon.
Yeah, it's less than a month.
That's nice.
Hopefully, I'll get the best out of it.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I mean, just being surrounded by other people who are passionate about, animation and doing that, it automatically helps.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel I don't deserve um, any like I don't believe in my skills at all. I just want
I think everyone goes through.
no, and I don't know how to draw. I should
Yeah,
just
we all. Yeah, you're not alone in that. We all go through our moments of, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this?
feel.
But really, it's like you're cutting out again.
Same.
I was saying, really, it's more of a matter of like, I don't know. I believe everybody can learn how to do this. It's just a matter of
Yeah,
people who are passionate enough to stick with it, and,
yeah,
and who are humble enough to be willing to learn. I mean, you don't make excuses for your art. If there's critique, you take the critique. And
yeah,
you're willing to learn and willing to improve, because the reality is, as an artist, your whole life is going to be a student, because so much of what we do relies on reference and relies on finding the things that we need. So you'll find that as you progress, that you'll develop new passions and new things that you find fascinating. Like, I have a big nerd sort of love for outer space and anything that's going on with astrophysics. I read big on like string theory and the Hadron Collider and all that stuff, because as I've grown and developed, that has grown as an interest for me. And
yeah,
it has very little to do with art, but you find other people who are passionate about what they do, and then you learn about what they do, and then you realize why they're passionate about what they do. So, astrophysicists, they like discovery as much as we do as artists.
mm. Yeah. I mean, so yeah. I mean, you can answer this for me. Is it a bad thing to draw every day?
To do what?
Draw every day?
Oh
Every
no,
single.
that's a great.
I mean, some people say it's like forcing yourself, and it's bad for the art thing and stuff.
No, I think, I mean, there's being studious, and then there's being passionate, and sometimes you have to draw just because you need to learn, and sometimes you have to draw because you have to draw, because you
Yeah,
can't help but draw. So I wouldn't worry about. I mean, if you want to draw, then draw. If you
yeah,
want to take a break and sort of find something else out, as long as you're doing something, as long as you're learning something, it's not a waste of time. Because eventually you're going to find ways to use that in your sketches, and use the things that you're doing in your off time, and the things that you're learning by yourself. That isn't art, or that isn't necessarily animation art. Will always be influential in the things that you do. But as far as like not drawing, I think it's important to draw often. I think it's important to make drawing a part of life.
yeah. But sometimes, like, I feel sometimes some days I don't feel like drawing, but I feel like I have to draw something, at least something that day.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm like forcing it or something.
Yeah,
I think,
I
but
think in those moments it's important. Like if you feel like I have to draw, but you don't feel inspired to draw anything, those are the days that you go, okay, well, what am I weak at? If I feel like I need to draw just so I can,
yeah,
then those are the days that I would say go online and sort of research something that you're weak at. So for me, I didn't feel like drawing today, so I sat down and decided, okay, I'll force myself to do this by inviting people to watch me draw, so that way I feel obligated to do it. But I'm going to force focus on something that I don't feel
yeah,
strong at, so that I will learn from it. And as I've done this drawing, I'm enjoying it now that I have a clear vision, and it's sort of something that I didn't expect out of it. But like for you, if you're not good at, if you feel like you're not skilled at drawing women on days that you just don't feel like going out and drawing, but you feel like you have to, like you should, you can either choose to go and study something else, go do something else that you can learn from and sort of develop as well, or you can take the time to work on something that you don't feel like you're strong at. So drawing women could be a good option.
yeah,
You know, sitting down and sort of
yeah,
being more studious about it, because it is good. It is important to learn and to become, to develop that discipline.
yeah, yeah,
If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally does.
But I mean, yeah, you shouldn't ever feel like you're hating what you're doing, and that's why it's important to take those days when you do feel like drawing, to just like dedicate a day to it and get excited about it, and then get some friends to go with you.
Yeah,
You can share ideas and you know bounce things around. Like when I get in a slump, I'll usually call my friends Mike and Nick Bear and Vince Aparo, and we'll go out for a sketch. And then if I'm not feeling very creative and I don't have any ideas, Mike and Nick particularly are very good at coming up with silly things, and then I'll just jump onto what they're drawing subject wise. I'll build off of that, and we work at improving through working together.
yeah.
So that's what I tend to do when I don't feel particularly creative.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, I talked to Ahmed Beiruti.
Huh? Yeah, yeah. He told me he was going to reach out to you.
Yeah, I reached out to him, but he told me that you talked, that you mentioned me, and
Yeah.
so yeah, he kept commenting my work and stuff, and he like recommended that I get an internship in like Dubai's Cartoon Network and
Oh, that would be
stuff
great.
like that.
Yeah, I highly recommend that, and especially if you can, because I found out he's living in Dubai now. So if you can get in touch with him
Yeah,
and go sketching with him and sort of learn from his daily process, that would be really good as well.
yeah,
Because he is someone who encouraged me to continue drawing more frequently, because well, he's very good at what he does.
yeah. Yeah,
Also,
his
he
work
also
is
would come, like he and I used each other for critique as well. So when there wasn't people around us that we felt were giving us what we weren't being harsh enough, he would email me or I would email him or message him, and we would you
yeah.
know tear each other down and build each other up. But he's always been very good at that for me.
I mean, I would love to like build this relationship with someone, but not based on critique and just art, because I feel that's like taking advantage of someone, or
I mean, for one thing, I think if you ask for someone to critique, I mean, yes, you could see it as using somebody, and some people do treat it that way. But I find that developing a relationship with artists and showing them, hey, I respect you enough. Would you mind taking a look at a few of my things? I'd love for you to pick them apart and sort of help me out. And then through that conversation, develop a friendship. That's great. Um,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you develop. It's good to develop a relationship out of mutual respect.
yeah, yeah,
So Ahmad and I sort of did that, and now we reach out to each other from time to time. I haven't talked to him actually in probably a little while, but he's come a long way since I first got to know him. I don't know if I've come
Yeah,
nearly.
I wanted to show you, I wanted to show you a work of one of my friends. He's really amazing. He's just just graduated from college here in Egypt, Fine Arts.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd love to see.
yeah, I guess I'm screen sharing, so you can take a look. Wait, can you see now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His Gwen.
Yeah, this is one of his recent works.
You like
Like,
pushing perspective.
yeah, yeah. He's like studying 24/7 animation, storyboarding, and
Yeah,
like
he's definitely
talking to.
drawing like a storyboard artist.
Yeah, he's very simple,
Uh huh.
but he's like his gestures are amazing, and yeah. Wait, his internet's horrible. Yeah,
Nice.
like yeah, he's way better than I am.
I wouldn't say he's better than you are. I think he's more confident with his gestures, but
Yeah,
I think on the design
yeah,
element,
yeah. Yeah, he's still better than me.
I wouldn't say
Many
that.
aspects.
I think you guys have strengths in different places. And
I
that's not a
mean,
bad thing. That's nice.
yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, he definitely leans leans like a storyboard artist, which is great.
He does like animations too, so
Nice.
yeah, I did a couple of animations too, but not to that level. Uh, so yeah, his name is Salah.
Yeah, I'll find him. Actually,
Yeah, he's amazing. I'll tell him that I mentioned you. So
how do you?
if if
Okay.
he'll talk to you.
Yeah. Hold on. Found him. Good. He's already friends with friends of mine.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Do you know Hisham Habashi?
Maybe. What's this? How do you spell it?
Wait, I'll type it in the chat box. He lives in Dubai too. He's in Arab. He works in I don't remember Ubisoft, I think.
Oh, okay.
His work is pretty solid. Pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah, has accepted. Ooh. Is he? Has he found work yet?
Yeah,
Or sorry,
he's working in
yeah.
Ubisoft right now. I think it's like the Arabian community is very small, so we tend to know each other like quite well. So I already knew Ahmed Bayrouthi's work, so but I didn't get the chance to like talk to him.
Well, now you have.
But after like I talked to you, I sent messages to a couple of different major character designers and stuff.
Uh huh. Who,
Yeah,
who else?
some of them replied, some of them didn't. Like Wouter Top,
Oh
he replied,
yeah, he's very good.
amazing, yeah. Um, Jesse Eklund,
Jesse's a good friend of mine.
yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's super nice too. Did he respond to you?
Yeah. Yeah, but I sent him like one email and he replied back with a couple of like fixes and
Yeah, he's
yeah,
particularly
that's, you know,
at advising. I mean, he's also teaching animation at Cal Arts or character design at Cal Arts at the moment. So he's
yeah,
a lot more practiced in doing drawovers and helping out. Very funny guy.
but I like mentioned you to that I mentioned that I talked to you to Dia, who I just showed you his work,
Uh
and he was just like, "Whoa, man!"
huh.
Oh, I like he was really really astounded, and I thought of he deserves like someone to uh, like tell him about his art. Yeah, tell him how his art is. You know,
Yeah.
doesn't get that a lot. He doesn't get that much
Well,
respect of his art.
he will. He's
Like
definitely
underpaid.
got skills. I'll see if I can get my buddy Guillermo to reach out to him. Their drawings are fairly similar. And Guillermo's a very good storyboard artist, so it'd be good for him to have Guillermo to talk to.
Yeah, so he like loves animation, and I I kind of feel sorry that I'll hopefully be going to Goblin, and he won't. So I'm keeping it a secret from him.
Oh, okay. I won't. I
Yeah,
Well,
it's
he's also
like
finished
I
college,
want to surprise him,
about to start
and
it.
at the same time, yeah,
I think ultimately he should be happy for you, and will be.
yeah. Sometimes like I he deserves it more than I do, so I feel sorry.
I mean, it's not a matter of deserving it. It's you applied for it, and maybe he didn't. And, you're
Yeah, yeah,
very capable. I don't know if it's. I mean, there's. I think as artists, we tend to be very critical on ourselves and whether or not we deserve it or not. And the fact of the matter is some. I mean, deserving anything is no one deserves anything. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's a matter of
yeah, yeah,
preparation and willingness. I mean, it's not that he is more deserving than you or less deserving than you. He's probably, you guys both could do it, and you're the one who applied. So that's the
yeah,
difference, you know.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Show me what you do.
What was that?
How much time do you spend on like a drawing like that?
This one I started around 2:30, so that's been 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like to spend that much time on a drawing ever.
No, I normally I don't. Normally
Yeah,
normal like posts are usually for about an hour's worth of work. Um, and then because I like to I like to move on, I like to do other things.
yeah,
But because I'm trying to focus on something that I don't feel confident in, I'm taking more time to make it work and all that.
yeah. But honestly, my like from my point of view, I don't know. My sort of ignorance about art uh, tells me that you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Me?
Yeah, like the lines. I don't know how it differs.
Yeah, that's something that's actually I used to think the same. Um, and and then I realized that there's a lot of things within subtlety. Um, you'll
Yeah.
the underdrawing is a lot rougher, and it was drawn on top of, you know,
Mm.
even rougher.
Yeah.
I do passes on it so that when the final comes out, it's clean, but it's also based on something. So this line is a lot nicer than this line, as
Mm.
far as, you know, the thick and thin and the construction of it. So
Yeah.
I'm solving smaller problems as I go. Like
Uh-huh.
if you look at the original sketch, which was this, you know, it's all still there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's taken, you know, I did this and then I went in and then did the values underneath with this.
No.
I pulled it back as far as I could so where I could still see it, and then from there I went back to this because now I know what my values are, and then I've since started refining the lines. Um, but I wasn't particularly happy with how I had drawn these legs, so I took another pass at it, and then another one, and then now my final one. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of refining, and along the way I've pulled up reference for like how do clouds look from an angle where I'm looking down at them rather than, you know, up at them. The way that the shapes overlap and how they show volume is going to make a big difference.
Mm.
You try and figure out the subtleties as much as you can. But yeah, I used to think, oh well, it's good enough. Let's move on, and then eventually you start disliking specific lines and redrawing them.
Yeah, I love how you use just one line because that's pretty professional.
Using one line.
Yeah, like one solid, confident line. I never do that.
I mean, it just sort of depends on what aesthetic you like, and sort of what type of shows that you end up working on that might require more, you know, uh,
Yeah.
I don't know how to phrase it, cleaner lines, I suppose. I've always been rather meticulous about making my lines clean, just because, you know, you watch the films and you think, oh well, the clean lines, that's how
Yeah.
that's how it should be. But then if you look at Jesse Auckland's drawings, most of
Yeah,
his
I love sketching stuff.
it's very loose, it's very rough, but it also allows for him to be very expressive. So
Yeah.
not necessarily a right or wrong way
Yeah.
to draw. It's just, you know, what is your preference? Do you like clear lines? Do you like, you know, more expressive lines? And the difficulty is, you know, as I've become very stiff with my or very clean with my lines, I oftentimes will lose a lot of gesture, and so it's a struggle to try and find that balance. So I look at people like Anthony Holden, who is very clean but also very expressive, and I try and study and understand what it is that he's doing, so that I can eventually do that.
God damn it! I love these people, man. These people's works.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very very good. And the nice thing is that they're all very nice. Anthony's a friendly.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, you should. I mean, reach out to him. I'm sure he'll respond. He's very communicative.
Anthony?
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah. And I just love a lot of people.
Yeah, it's
So yeah.
kind of funny, like working and living in LA and like having all these people you admire, and then suddenly
Yeah.
conversation with them, and you're going, you're so normal and not like, I'm your friend now, but I love your work. And those are those moments where I think, oh, I'm not worthy of this. Like they're so much more deserving than I am. And, I just try not to. You just have to try not to think that way, because, you know, we all can be self-deprecating. We can all put ourselves down and then get really discouraged with our work. And if you're not having fun with it, then what's the point? I suppose.
Yeah. I literally like my sketchbook is all filled with names of artists on every page. Like when I scroll in Pinterest or something,
Hmm.
I like pick out artists' names and I keep it in my sketchbook. But unfortunately, when I meet one of my friends, he takes the sketchbook from me, borrowing it, like to draw from it or something. I don't know.
Oh,
So I kind of lose all my sketch. I finished like 12 sketchbooks in 2 years,
that's
approximately.
yeah. Every other month. That's a good amount
Yeah.
to be drawing.
Like calculated it, I sort of finished like 6 pages per day. So
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
great.
probably sketchbook.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have things to draw that entertain you and sort of you learn from,
The
because
problem,
really
yeah,
it's oftentimes a matter of learning how to control your arm to do what it is that you have in your head,
yeah,
and then the other half of it is learning how to see so that you can understand what you're looking at to put down on paper as
yeah. But
well.
the problem is I kind of lack ideas. I don't read a lot at all. I hate reading. And
I recommend
yeah,
audiobooks then.
whose books?
Audiobooks, like books,
Audiobooks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it is really good to get,
National Geographic.
huh?
National Geographic. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's it's a ton of, yeah,
it really
teaches.
depends. Like that, and that's what I mean when I say like you'll eventually find other things that you're passionate about because those are the things that you're going to be reading or learning about that
Yeah,
will eventually influence what it
yeah,
is you draw and the things that you like to draw. So for me, it's documentaries on outer space and documentaries about cooking or documentaries about historical events.
yeah.
I actually am particularly interested in sort of the rise of the Eastern civilization. You know how
Oh,
how the Arabic world and culture became powerful before the Crusades and what effects that has on modern day. And I think that's really interesting and really topical with the things going on in the world. So it interests me.
yeah,
So I will in turn go and research incredible Middle Eastern cities that I've never heard of, like in Yemen, and look at the architecture.
yeah,
Fascinated at these things that I've never seen before and want to draw those. And so then I do draw
yeah,
them, and it's different than what anybody else in the United States is drawing because nobody's drawn that because I have an interest in it and other people don't. So
yeah,
there's a matter of like there's a way of researching things because you're interested in them that will ultimately make a difference in the things that you draw. So it's just finding those things
yeah.
that you like, those things that you're interested in, and finding mediums in which you can access them.
Yeah. I'm now at the stage where I'm about to get to the like like professional world, I guess, like working and stuff, freelancing, and but pretty damn afraid.
I mean,
I don't know why.
it's going to be a challenge. I won't lie. I mean, it is a struggle, but I mean, people will try and take advantage, and that's normal. And you'll tell people what your prices are, but you need to sort of stand firm on what how much work you can do that can allow for you to provide an income for yourself. Um,
Yeah, I'm not afraid about that as much as I'm afraid about like not doing what I love because that for me is a killer.
oh, okay, yeah. I mean, and that is a difficult thing. I mean, a lot of artists, we tend to go in as being very idealistic and knowing that like as soon as I start working, I'm gonna love what I do. But the reality is that you're not your job
Yeah,
is to accomplish somebody else's vision. Your job
yeah,
is like when a director is telling you what to do, you're trying to, as best as you can, translate what's in his head onto paper because you have the skills, and maybe he does, and maybe he doesn't. But he doesn't certainly have the time. So,
yeah.
it's never going to be as
But like,
artistic and fulfilling as doing things that you love. But at the end of the day, you still get to draw for a living.
yeah, Right.
So, you're not always going to love it. And, some bosses are going to be nicer than others and better than others. And that's normal. Um, but ultimately, you'll come to find that the types of projects that you enjoy working on are the projects that you get to work with people who influence you. It's sort of you sort of look for the projects that you get to work on with specific people. Um,
Yeah.
Ultimately, as time goes on, you're going to realize like, oh, well, drawing is just drawing, and I can do it. It's just a matter of who do I want to spend my time with. All right, what project are they on? Let's see if I can get
But I
on
mean,
that project. Or sometimes you do get excited about specific projects, and
no,
you get to work on that for a while, and that's also very nice.
no, nobody's gonna hate his job if he gets to design Zootopia characters and big Hero 6 characters and get to work with Jin Kim and stuff. So, I mean,
Yes, and
that's fair.
I've
That
heard stories from friends who've worked on those films where sometimes those productions are really good and other times they're not so good, and it just sort of depends on who the leadership is. And,
yeah,
I'm not going to name specific names on anything, but ultimately, like each production has its set of difficulties, and each production has you're going to disagree with 80% of the decisions that are being made, and you still have to draw it. Is sort of what it
yeah,
comes down to. Like it's the nature of how it works. I know friends who didn't particularly like the way that they had designed Baymax, but they had to just deal with it. And they were maybe visual development artists, and they disagreed with the color schemes or something, but ultimately it's not their decision to make. So,
yeah.
you know, there might be cooler ideas, and less cool ideas are the ones that end up making it through, but that's how it has to be.
Yeah, right. Yeah. As I've told you, I'm just sketching. I don't have any idea. I'm just like drawing shapes and stuff. So
Yeah, I play this game all the time. I'll usually,
yeah,
when my friends and I go out, we'll either play this where we'll scribble in someone's sketchbook and have to make something out of it, or we'll play a game where we
yeah, yeah.
just
But I like played this game
yeah.
a hell lot. Like I
There's
got
one
tired.
that I really like where we'll find like a list of Pokemon, and then we'll have to describe them to each other without
Yeah.
giving away who that Pokemon is, and then we all have to draw what's being described. And it's always great to see how
Oh,
different things come out.
that's nice.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
You were out here all alone, but I came.
Yeah, there were. I had some people who were viewing, but nobody was sketching with me or talking with me. So I just stuck with my music.
I would have, man, but I was out. I'm sorry.
It's okay, man. Gosh, why couldn't you
God,
be here?
yeah.
Nah. I think yeah, I haven't normally done these, so I think I might start doing them more often. So
Yeah,
I'll keep.
it's a cool thing.
Well, it's nice to be able to have a conversation while I'm sketching,
Yeah, right. Just
especially if I
yeah, when I have a conversation, I just draw things out of my mind, and I don't know what I'm drawing, but I'm just drawing.
yeah.
I don't care. What the hell am I doing anyway?
Well, we got a very pointy nosed man with a funny hat and a mouse and a dragon and a girl who's really digging that alligator's butt.
Show me what you do.
Is your family fairly supportive of you pursuing animation?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
very much.
That's really good.
And I'm lucky, you know.
Yeah, I was fortunate to have parents who were very supportive as well.
Were your parents supportive?
Yeah, they were very supportive. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Not always the case.
Yeah, I mean, my grandfather was an artist, so my dad understands how it is like, how it's like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Getting tired. Has it started getting warm out there?
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up reference right now.
Okay. You know how to animate?
Like the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I have a background, but yeah, yeah, I do know. I actually went to in last yeah in 2014.
Uh-huh.
I went to like animation collaborative class
Uh-huh.
in San Francisco in Walt Disney Family Museum.
Yeah. Yeah, I have friends that teach that. Who
Yeah, and yeah, I went there and I was pretty damn excited, and was just all animation.
yeah.
I
Who
had hopes of character designs. Yeah.
who was your instructor?
Um. Well, let me see. There was a storyboard artist. His name was Raj Bordaj.
Mm-hmm. I don't know him.
He works for Aardman Animations and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I don't remember his name, but he like the animation instructor. He worked in Brave and Lion King and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and Brother Bear, and yeah, he worked in Pixar. Yeah, at the time was giving us like insights in Inside Out.
Oh, nice.
We were like,
That's
whoa,
cool.
whoa, yeah, and it finally came out.
Did you have a character design teacher?
No, they were only animation, storyboarding, and cinematography.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like my art sucked at that time period. like,
We all start somewhere. Those. Things.
Do you recommend any books, art books or comic books that I like copy from?
Um, The Illusion of Life. Everyone will tell you for animation. When it comes to gestures,
I like drawing and like actually copying
oh, to actually
art.
copy from,
Yeah,
it kind of depends on what it is you want to focus on. I think yours is character design. Seems more
yeah.
like that's what you want.
But I mean, some stuff would like boost me forward. Like if I copy from comic books and stuff. But I don't know any comic books that I don't know any comic books.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, I mean, the things that have entertained me lately is there's a French comic book called Last Man. Um, the
Last
drawings are,
man. Okay.
uh, huh? Last Man. Called.
Yeah, yeah,
The drawings are really, really good. The character designs are good, and they're appealing, but there's, um, I don't know if I would
yeah,
use it for learning character design, but I would use it for learning acting. The acting is particularly good.
yeah.
Uh, they're really quick reads too. They don't take a lot of effort, which is
Yeah.
also great, and the story is really interesting. Um,
Yeah.
who else? I would say. Hmm.
I know it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, mostly the things that have affected me is just looking at artists that I like. I mean, looking up like drawing over Milt Kahl's drawings is really good. His hands and character designs particularly, they're just really
Mhm.
great balance of shape and really uh,
Yeah,
really expressive. But he's particularly good when it comes to design.
yeah, no comment. Yeah.
Uh, Teddy Newton's really expressive as well. Teddy,
Oh yeah, okay.
E E D E D D Y. He was a storyboard artist, but I think he worked a lot on the designs for The Incredibles. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
and then there's oh, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. New character designer for Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo. He's particular.
Ricky Nerva?
Ricky Nerva is really good.
Yeah.
Chris Sasaki is very good, but he's really hard to dissect. But I would definitely look at Chris Sasaki for reference as well.
How do you spell it?
Sasaki.
Okay.
Um, he's very good at his shape design. I would say.
Uh,
He also will teach at the Animation Collaborative from time to time.
mhm.
Um, yeah, he's particularly good. Um,
Yeah, I looked up Disney TV animation website, and I saw that it's very easy to apply there.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just yeah, not many studios also have this like uh, freedom.
yeah. Um, I mean, it's definitely worth a shot. I
But
would.
yeah,
And
so too young.
I mean, and if anything, you can always try for an O1 artist visa as well. I don't know if Disney's very good on sponsoring visas itself, but
On what?
on sponsoring visas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But if you can, if you know, you can. I mean, all you
Do
have
they have it?
like, if you get a job in Dubai with like Ahmad, um, the nice thing is that once you sort of, if anything that you guys work on gets any sort of accolades or awards, it makes it a lot easier for you to apply for the O1 visa.
Yeah.
And once that happens, then getting you don't have to even necessarily be sponsored by a company in the states.
Yeah. Okay.
So that might help. And I know I have a few friends. I have an Italian friend named Valerio, who's a character designer at Cartoon Network, and he was able to stay because of that. And then my friend Mariam Safati, she's from Iran. I think she's here on that sort of visa as well. Or I think also her husband works in IT in tech. So I think that might also
Yeah.
fit.
I mean, I sometimes feel that I want to get advice on the thought process more than the final product.
Well, I mean that's kind of the most important part, I would say, is understanding the thought process.
Yeah, because just yeah, we always get advice on the final finished thing.
Yeah. Um, like if I were you, I would look at these drawings of Gwen, and rather than copying them directly, I would
Uh,
I would use them more as reference for like understanding the balance of shapes, and then drawing my own version, and then trying to either change the design to be more of what I would like. I would find the things that I don't like about that design, and I would change it.
like yeah, but I kind of like don't know when I like search for shapes and stuff. I mean, it's a regular human form.
Yeah, that's the difficulty. Let me.
I mean, I can do stuff like that with Corey Lofty's art. I mean, stuff like that, like shapes and stuff. You're screenshotting the image.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like,
show you sort of breakdown of shapes for a little bit.
yeah. I mean, these things your eye just picks them up because you've been working so long in the
Yeah,
field.
that's a matter like that's something that you'll eventually develop. Is finding those things. The difficulty with any Marvel character is that like the designs are very humanoid to begin with. Um,
Mm.
you've got your basic. Here's the head shape. The neck comes down here,
Your lines, man.
the shoulder. But I think it's really odd. So we've got the hood coming up here, and then her breast. Rather than this is what I see as a fault of the drawing is that the breast is very rigid. It's very angled.
Yeah, but I think it's a style. I don't
And
know.
that's sort of the stylism of it. Like these fingers are very, very squared as well. So I would look at this and I go, okay, here's what the pose is doing. I've got anatomically very correct sort of shapes.
Yeah, but should I study like uh, references from just looking, or should I trace or? Thing?
If I were you, if you're trying to understand what the shapes of the character are, start doing just quick drawovers like I'm doing here to understand what the
Tracing.
artist is doing. Like trace it, but do it quickly so that you're not imitating it, and do it directly over and go okay, and then so you start drawing through and seeing like okay, the rib cage sits like this here,
Uh,
and then you from there extrapolate like all right, here's where the hip would sit there.
yeah,
All right, this is all getting pulled up into what is an arm back here, and then eventually you have this rough drawing.
yeah,
But if it's something like this and you like what they're doing, I also would sort of go alongside rather than drawing directly, do it like right next to it, and then
yeah,
figure out like, all right, how do I better push what they're doing? You can learn from their overlaps and like how they're using foreshortening that way. But when it comes to other people's characters, I oftentimes would just go and adjust. Like I wouldn't draw it exactly the same as they have it. I'd say, okay, if I was looking at this,
just
like, what does this pose look like from a different angle? All right, I've got the head shape here, and I want to. All right, we're gonna have it so that we're looking at from slightly from the back, and I would try and use what I know about anatomy to essentially allow me to understand specifically what's
yeah, yeah,
you know what the body is doing. Now that I've understood, like, all right, that's where the rib cage is. This arm is being pulled up here. How much twist is there going to be on the back end? And then I can
Do you
adjust.
like do gesture drawing practices like from websites and stuff?
I do, yeah. I do often that, or I also go to a figure drawing class that happens once a week to keep
Yeah.
myself, learning as much as I
Yeah, I
can.
mean, I'm for me, I sort of get offended by nudity.
Hmm.
So I tried to like pick photos where it's kind of semi nude,
Hmm.
like wearing some stuff, just covering the spots, and
Yeah,
um, don't I don't see that that's effective. I lately settled on Pose Maniacs, that 3D website,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
I just do it every
It's
day,
not
but
real. It's not real people
yeah,
often.
it's very stiff. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But you
would.
can teach
I
them
know this
certain.
is going to be
Yeah.
sort of contrary to maybe your religious beliefs. Um, I know from my experience, and my family is very religious as well, and I was worried that drawing from the figure being nude would be uncomfortable. Um,
Uh-huh.
have you drawn from nude figures much?
Not much because yeah, it's
Yeah,
sort of like a religious thing too. So,
yeah. Um,
yeah,
I will say the one thing I will say is not to challenge your faith or have it change in any way.
yeah,
I found that learning anatomy from live models is actually more effective because you can understand the overlaps of the musculature in a way that a flat image doesn't allow for you to, because you're looking at it in three-dimensional space rather
yeah,
than on a flat image. And to be fair, while the first session of drawing a nude figure can be uncomfortable, from that point on, you start recognizing that what you're looking at is a body and not a naked person. So you're
yeah,
studying these intricate musculature and form and shadow and shape rather than a human figure.
yeah,
And for some
yeah,
reason, that separation for me made drawing from nude figures easy, because you're not looking at it from a sexual point of view. You're not looking at it from uh, you know
yeah,
a, a lust a lusty sort of point of view, because you're using it as study, and you're using it as trying to learn something um, more effectively. So I don't know if that. I
yeah,
mean, I would encourage you, if you could, to draw from nude figures, but if that is uncomfortable, I mean, they have you know books and
yeah. I mean, it's
they
nearly impossible.
clothed figures, but it is difficult. I know.
Yeah, it's
I
I mean,
just
it's
feel like having clothing over the form
yeah,
is good when it comes to understanding how wrinkles and folds work, but it makes it difficult to understand what the form is doing beneath it unless you already know what those muscles are.
yeah. But I mean, with bathing suits, I think it's good, right?
Yeah, it's effective. The difficulty there is, when it comes to like women's breasts, they're being supported by
Yeah,
something, so you don't understand the full weight of a breast, or wearing the bottoms. Like if they're wearing a bikini, that's more effective than wearing a one piece, certainly.
yeah,
But if they're wearing a one piece, that's also flattening the chest and sort of not showing you how the breasts will hang onto the rib cage, and therefore
yeah,
it affects that as well. Um, but I mean, it has to be your conviction. I'm not going to tell you that it's wrong to
right.
not be comfortable with it. But I also see the benefit of drawing from
Yeah, I
the new.
think yeah, I understand that it is beneficial, but yeah, just religious stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, definitely. I mean, if your conviction says that it's not okay, then that's fine. It's not okay for you, and I'm not. I definitely, sticking to your convictions is a very good thing. Um, so if you can find a way of learning I mean, I think there's a sense of logic that you can use to understanding how the figure would weigh, like how a breast would fall or
Yeah.
things of that sort. That you can kind of figure out the logic, but it'll never be as effective as the real thing. But when it comes to the limitations that you have on that,
I guess
then
I can compromise by like drawing from other comic book artists or something.
I didn't understand that question.
Yeah, like I can compromise by like drawing from other comic book artists and stuff.
Yeah, and I was actually just thinking like you could look at other artists who are very good
Yeah,
at anatomy and they are drawing oftentimes, especially comic book artists, they're often drawing, I mean, often exaggerated features when it comes to
yeah,
breasts, particularly. But nonetheless, understanding sort of the way that you know, because they don't like there will be a seam underneath the breast where it's hanging over the figure itself. So there's things like that and understanding how the weight carries, but you know, a lot of you just look at a lot of figure drawing books as well. Who did we have? There was a teacher that I had in college. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name.
I
Um,
mean, Frazetta, for example, but and J. Scott Campbell.
yeah, I would actually say Frazetta is better than J. Scott Campbell when it comes to
Yeah, yeah, of course. But I'm just
actually
saying.
a lot of really wonderful weight, uh,
Yeah,
proper weight in the breasts that he draws. All right, all right, man. I actually have to head out.
yeah, 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 sure.
Some dinner plans tonight.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
But
I'm
it
sorry, I
was good
might have.
talk. Huh?
Yeah, nice. I'm sorry if I like the call was that long.
Oh no, it's
Just
I was just waiting for the right time to leave. So this is it, and we're good. Don't worry about it.
yeah, 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 no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Well,
Nice
keep.
talk.
I'm sure there's. Well, you should probably just go to bed because it's what 2:30 now.
Yeah, yeah.
All
It's
right,
two
man.
thirty.
Well,
All right.
we'll do this again. This was fun.
Yeah, yeah. Take care, man.
All right, see you, man.